everybody, Kenny here, also known as Silent85. Welcome to a video log, a vlog about my mental health lately. Updates, whatnot, some stuff I'll talk about that may or may not help you, but also gives me a chance to update all the yet-to-be friends here on the internet, including the community, just to let you guys know how I'm doing. So, two things. Number one, I faced something very bittersweet the other night, and I'll tell you why. Um, I stayed overnight. Well, I'll just say I had a very, very challenging situation over New Year's. Um, and I did it for somebody I love. I did it for somebody I love. There has been a few places in my life that have become not a safe haven for me. That once felt like a second home, or a place that I was welcomed, wholly, um, via the surroundings, the walls I'm in, you know, the um, the atmosphere of the place. I don't want to go into specifics here, but I'll give an example. My grandmother's house back in the day. For those that don't know, I was a victim of abuse back in the day. Um, one of my grandparents abused me, and there was two houses that they lived in where it happened. The first house where it happened, that was a dark place for me. I never felt welcome, even though it was family, even though it was with my grandparents. I never felt welcome. It was just a dark pit that I knew I had no choice but to stay in. Because my folks dropped me off there. They dropped me off so they could work. They couldn't afford any babysitting, so on and so forth. Of course, at the time, they didn't know that abuse was going on, so they didn't find out till later. Um, my sister and I faced repressed memories. We faced all kinds of stuff. So that's just one example. This is a place where you don't want to be there. And you now, with that said, that what I faced here recently was not near as bad as that was, but it was up there. But anyway, over New Year's, this place I'm in, um, it to face what I faced is not easy. But, and I won't name any names, but I wanted to thank the person that was there with me because they were the core reason I was there, um, and they were worth it. They were worth what I had to face. Um, Now, with that said, I wanted to outline what I experienced and what I was like and who I became while that was going on because it was really odd. It was very challenging, very, I clammed up. I clammed up. I did what I could to stay sociable. I did what I could to keep talking to the people around me, to try not to shut down. I ended up taking an anti-anxiety. I wasn't looking forward to what was going to happen later, which because it was a situation that I didn't feel comfortable in. I didn't feel should have to be in, but there are things in life you really need to face, and you got to take them head on, especially if it's been building up for years. And again, it's in one of those places where the surroundings and again the atmosphere alone are a challenge because something dark happened there, or because something that really impacted you in such a negative way happened in that place. So like I said, I clammed up. I didn't know how to respond half the time. I was playing Magic the Gathering on my phone. I did what I've done, more than a few times in my life when I've been in these situations. I turned to the person I was with to find enjoyment, and I turned to um, games to find enjoyment. These are my safe spaces when it comes to that. There is one part of the house that I did feel was a bit of a safe space, But due to the evening events, I couldn't really be in there a whole lot without, you know, upsetting people. So, um, and plus, it would have just been very socially awkward, and I had to be an adult. I had to be a grown up. I had to face this. Now, with that said, I'm not saying that you're a child if you don't face it head on. But in my certain situation, I felt that I had to do this for various reasons. I had to find strength that I knew I had, but even it would waver every so often. So at this point, I'm rambling, but I clammed up. I was halfway sociable. I distracted myself every so often, um, and I wasn't entirely in the moment like I usually am around certain people. Um, but I got through it, you know, especially midpoint through the whole experience. I faced even deeper challenges that past Kenny, I'll just refer to him as past Kenny, didn't want to deal with. It was too much, too heavy. I, I'll just say this, and I'll finish it here on this part. I'm just very thankful for the people in my life. I'm very thankful that I'm getting looked at and that I'm discovering things about myself and how to deal with certain things, including certain techniques like forecasting, inner meditation, so on and so forth. And also, one thing that I've always been proud of and prided myself on is knowing how I'll be in certain situations. My reactions can be strange. My reactions can be, like if you experience some reactions in some of the situations I've been in, you kind of look at me like, "Are you okay?" Which is want to do for people that face mental challenges. But anyway, there's that. So look, like I said, I'm proud of myself. I faced something. I faced adversity that I hadn't known for a long time, and I couldn't have done it without the people in my life. I couldn't have done it without, having the right for what was needed, the medication, because the anti-anxiety helped a whole lot. And that's what they're there for. They're a temporary allevi- uh, alleviate. That's a word. I'm not even sure that's a word, but it's a good word. Alleviate. They helped alleviate the anxiety I was feeling. That I hated feeling. I hated it, but I couldn't help it. It's a part of who I am. It's a part of what I experienced in that area. And you go through that. If you've never been through that, it, it can vary. It can vary. The most intense moment of my life that I went through that with was hell. It was, I would even say it was worse than hell. And this is coming from a humanist, um, an agnostic, borderline atheist, but you know what I mean. For those that know me, you know what I'm talking about. But this recent encounter it was torture. It was torture. It wasn't hell. It wasn't that extreme, but it was torture. But it was bittersweet because again, I was around company that I wanted to be around, and thankfully, I was able to face it. Because they were there. So anyway, I'm rambling on that part, but there's that. I'm still waiting on the ADHD testing. Finances are a little tight right now, so I still gotta make a payment for the final service, final part of the service for the you know, um, yeah, to get the results basically. Um, Personally, I don't feel it's right that I should have to pay for these, but there were people involved. There were tests being taken. There's results being examined. That's people's jobs. So paying for it helps keep these folks, helps keep their job. So I found justification in that. But at the same time, it'll also help me. Whether or not I'm diagnosed, whatever I'm diagnosed with at whatever severity level, it does become medical. So it does go into my medical file. So yeah, there's that. Now, you might ask about the bipolar, panic attacks, so on and so forth. I mentioned this previously. I'm still on the same meds for bipolar. I'm still dealing with that. Obviously, that's a struggle that will always be there. The panic attacks have gotten better. I'll say that much. The panic attacks have gotten better, which is saying something. After everything I've been through the last 4 to 5 months, um, I'm proud of myself on that because the panic attacks I had in Dallas compared to here in East Texas are less in severity. They're few and far betweener, few and further between betweener. Um, so I can report that, so that's good. There's progress being made mentally. There's progress being made in life. There's progress being made in getting to know myself and understand how I am, who I am, why I am, and um, how I operate, how I deal with things. And forecasting is very important. I have in videos in recent year, I have preached about forecasting. You have got to identify yourself. You've got to figure out how you may or may not react in certain situations and take stock. Especially when you face like bipolar, panic attacks, ADHD, so on and so forth. This will help you know yourself and it will help you face it as well because you know what to look forward to. Now, it doesn't help your anxiety because you're getting an idea in your head of like, oh, this could happen or that could happen. Oh, I don't know. I don't think I want to do that. And you start to overthink. You start to overanalyze. Happens a lot, especially with me. And it can feed anxiety and keep going and keep going. But it does help when done correctly. I wish I could coach on that. I have I have my moments where it works great for me, others to where it's just like, oh fuck, this is actually gonna happen. I don't know if I can do this. So anyway. Well look, I'm at 12 minutes, but that's basically the meat and potatoes of it. At this point I'm rambling, but I hope y'all have enjoyed listening. If you made it this far, thanks for listening. And maybe this helps some folks just to let you know you're not alone in your struggles for yourself and finding who you are, how you are, why you are. And that's what I always aim to do, and this also helps keep my community up to date with how I'm doing. So stay safe, stay sane. Remember, you're awesome. Never let the world tell you otherwise. I'm sweating a little bit because it's really warm in here. But um, welcome to 2024. And if you're one for resolutions, try to make a resolution that's not too far out there, but not too low of an apple and a hanging apple in the tree. I forget how that saying goes, but you know what I mean. Stay safe, stay sane. I'll see you next time. Peace.